Ocelot Story, Diary of a Brave Ocelot. Adventure stories for kids. Written by Jeff Child. Narrated by John H. Feskins. Introduction. Oliver is an ocelot. He loves to eat fresh salmon and chase the chickens near the farmer's barn. But some of those things get him into trouble, and when he meets a teenage girl who uses a fishing rod to catch fish, they team up to go on various adventures in the forest, the creepy canyon, and more. This Diary of an Ocelot gives you the perspective of one feline who begins to love the humans and helps out when one of them is in need to be rescued. Chapter 1. Fish and Frustration. The river was full of it. Salmon. I loved raw salmon. I could eat it all day, but unfortunately I didn't catch anything yet. Oliver, you are really losing it, I told myself. You used to catch fish like that, and now look how much trouble you are having. It's insane. When I realized I was talking to myself, the thought entered my mind if I was indeed insane. Didn't more animals do that, talking to themselves? Oh well. You still didn't catch anything? I heard a voice say behind me. Hi, Alisa. How are you? Good, Alisa said. I already caught 5 fish. How many did you catch? 0? Yes, 0. Thank you for rubbing it in, I said sarcastically. Don't bother me. I am busy. I'm trying to catch my first salmon. By the way, how did you get so many of them? Oh, I am just talented like that, Alisa said. It's a gift that some ocelots have and others don't. Now you're just bragging. I'll catch a fish. Just wait. Okay, go ahead and show me. I was tired of Alisa's arrogant attitude, so I was going to do my best again. I jumped into the water and saw a big river salmon swim by. It had a beautiful color, and it looked more delicious than anything I had ever eaten. I tensed my claws and whacked them into the water, making an attempt to snatch the fish away from its habitat. Missed. Ha ha ha! Alisa laughed. You are terrible at catching fish. That's not how you do it. Well, if you're so great at it, why don't you show me how it's done? I asked. I don't have to prove anything, Alisa said. I have 5 fish bones here, which are evidence of the fact that I had a good lunch. Grrr. Then how do you do it? Keep practicing. Although, I don't think it will help you. Some ocelots just don't have it in them. It looks like you're one of those. Anyway, I better get going. There are more fish on the other side of the river. I think I'll try my luck there. Don't follow me. I don't want you to scare away the fish. Don't worry, I'd rather stay here by myself. She left, and I watched as she threw the fish bones into the bushes and disappeared around the corner of the big rock near the riverbed. I was by myself again, and I just couldn't stand the hunger. I was starving. I saw all those fish swim by as if they were taunting me. But whenever I reached into the water, they were too quick, and I couldn't catch them. I gave up. I walked away from the river, trying to avoid the temptation of getting frustrated more than I already was. Stupid fish, I said. I walked around looking for something else to eat. The birds were all high, up there, hiding in the trees. They knew not to mess with me. They were safe, having learned from previous encounters with ocelots. I didn't blame them. Then I sat down and listened carefully. I heard something. It wasn't the typical sound of bears or birds or some other animal I was used to. Stupid fishing rod, why won't it work? I heard. Was that a human? Ah, I finally got it, I heard. Yes, it was a human being, probably a young female. At first I didn't care. I thought, why would I bother going over there? But then a thought came to me. If this girl had a fishing rod, then perhaps she could assist me in catching fish. Or maybe I could just steal her fish. That would be even easier. Hey, that wasn't such a bad idea. A smile appeared on my face as I thought of the delicious salmon I could get by robbing this pathetic girl. I snuck up to the spot where the sound was coming from. There she was. That was my ticket to free salmon. Awesome. Chapter 2. The Girl. As I approached the beautiful teenage girl and schemed to take her fish away, I heard her express a few frustrations again. And the more she did, the more I felt like I was just like her. We weren't so different, her and I. We both tried to catch fish, and we were both bad at it. The fact that we used different methods to do so didn't matter. I recognized my own tendencies in her behavior. "This is not fair," the girl yelled. "Yesterday I caught so much fish. Today is just a bad day. Yes, that must be it. There is a curse on this day or something." I chuckled inside. I knew how she was feeling. I had had better days than this, too. Suddenly, she saw me. It startled me. I didn't know where to go or what to do. "A kitty cat?" the girl said. Hey, I wasn't a cat. Well, kind of. More specifically, I was a feline, and my species was that of an ocelot. But how could she know? Besides, she was still far away. For some reason, I trusted her. She looked innocent enough to treat me with respect. I came closer, and she stayed seated. "You're kind of cute," she said. I wasn't particularly fond of that word, since I wanted to be seen as a powerful predator, but in this case, I knew it could only work for me in a beneficial way. If a human says you are cute, it means they will give you food, doesn't it? I was sitting right next to her now, observing what she was doing. Fishing gear is weird. I didn't know what to think of it. It had some piece of strong plastic, a rod, and a box full of worms, probably used as bait. She was fine with me sitting there, and kept doing what she was doing. She attached a worm to the hook and threw the object into the water. After that, she sat and waited. Now what? I thought. I went to the water and looked at the float. The fish were approaching it, but they weren't trying to eat the worm. No wonder that girl was so frustrated. I had an idea. This was the problem. The fish were always swimming around so fast and all over the place that I had a hard time catching them. The girl couldn't catch them because she didn't want to go into the water, but I could. So now that the fish were calmer and didn't move as much, completely mesmerized by the yummy worm, I could go in there and snatch them away. I hoped the girl would understand my tactics. I went for it. I slowly began walking into the shallow river and moved towards the spot where the float was. I braced myself and jumped. Wham! I hit 2 fish, which flew through the air and landed on the shore. "Wow!" the girl exclaimed. "That was amazing!" She jumped up and raised one arm in the air as she said it. She was super excited. All because of your float and your worm, I thought. It didn't work when I tried it on my own. Sorry, but I don't know how much credit I can take for this. But you don't hear me complain. It's working, and that's what matters. This was the trick. This was the best way to do it. We had a lot of fun because each time the girl made sure the worm was in a different place, and each time I whacked a few fish with my claws, making them end up on the shore. The girl collected them into her bucket, and after an hour we had more than 20 fish. "I think you deserve a fish or two," the girl said. "That was good teamwork. But listen, I can give you a few fish now, some dirty, raw, bland fish. Or I can take them home and have my mom cook something special for the both of us." I didn't know about that one. I was hungry. I didn't want to wait. At the same time, my curiosity was too strong. Perhaps this is why they sometimes say that curiosity killed the cat. So I agreed to come along and see what she would create for me. Chapter 3. Best Fish in the World. The girl packed up her fishing equipment and carried everything home. I followed her like a good cat, as if I was her pet and didn't know any better. As we walked to her house, she began talking. "My name is Shelley," she said. "I am 9 years old and I have one brother. My parents are still together. It's too bad that some of the parents in this community aren't married anymore. But luckily, my mom and dad decided to stay with each other, even though they fight sometimes. I think it's great. My brother is younger than I am. His name is Dwayne. He bothers me when I am busy doing homework, but I just put up with him when he does. In a general sense, he is pretty good." We arrived at the front door. It was a decent house, I thought. I had no clue about the income gap between some families, but it didn't concern me. In my opinion, it was a nice home. "You can come inside," Shelley said. "I don't think my mom will mind." "Mom! I found a cat!" After a few seconds, I heard footsteps. Shelley's mother was coming down. She looked at me with big eyes. "Shelley," she said, "this isn't a cat. It's an ocelot. Didn't you know that?" "It looks like a cat to me," Shelley said innocently. "Ocelots can be mean," her mom said. "I would be careful with that animal if I were you. Perhaps it would be best to take it back to where it came from." "Does he look mean to you? He helped me catch fish. I think I will call him Oliver. That sounds like a good name for an ocelot." Yes, finally that kid got something right. Still, it's ironic to think that she couldn't even guess what I was, but she immediately got my name right. Funny. "Well, that's very nice, but I am still not sure if this is the best thing to do," her mother said, being a little worried. "I tamed him," Shelley said. "I promised him he could have fish if he would follow me. Please, Mom, don't make me break my promise." "Fine," her mother said. "He can stay, but if he does something that goes against our rules, we will take him back to the forest." "Deal," Shelley said. Then her brother came from the basement. "What is that?" the 6-year-old boy asked. "This is an ocelot," Shelley said proudly. "His name is Oliver, and he eats fish. Mom, could you prepare the fish for us?" "Sure, it's almost time for dinner anyway. I will begin cooking." "Does he know any tricks?" Dwayne asked, pointing at me. "I don't know," Shelley said. But I understood them. I had learned the human language, so I wasn't going to let them down. I was tame, and I was hungry. I knew that if I did a trick, I would be admired and loved, and that would ultimately result in more and better food. So when they said it, I lay on my back and put my paws up in the air. "Ha ha," Dwayne said. "That's pretty cool. What else can he do? Come on, Oliver, do a trick for us." I thought for a moment. What else could I do? Then I had it. I sat on my hind legs and put my forepaw forward as if I was going to shake their hands. "Bravo, that is excellent," Shelley said. "Good job, Oliver. You certainly deserve a fish now." Bingo. I knew it. These humans were so predictable. Just by doing a few funny things, I would get my reward. Their mother came in about 20 minutes later and put the fried fish on the table. She cut off a large piece and put it on a plate, which she then placed on the floor. "This is for you, Oliver," she said. "Enjoy." Again, I was incredibly curious. The fish had been grilled in some kind of lemony garlic sauce with salt and little specks of something else on it. The seasonings fondled my sense of smell. This had to be good. I bent over and took a large bite. Whoa, I thought. This is amazing fish! I didn't know fish could be so good. And who would have thought that lemon would go well with salmon? Where did these humans get ideas like this? I had to admit that I was impressed. Chapter 4. Chickens. Our friendship got better and better. In the next few weeks, Shelley and I often went to the river to catch more fish. We teamed up and always came home with more. I got a comfortable spot or bed in the corner of the room where I felt safe and sound during the nights I was there. Sometimes I snuck out and looked for mice or small birds. Hey, I was still an ocelot, and it was one of my basic instincts to do so. But most of the time I played with Shelley and her brother, walked around the yard, and did other things felines do. And then there were the chickens. The neighbor had chickens, something I only noticed after being there for a long time. It was because he had them behind his barn, something that was further away than everything else in her yard. I loved chasing the chickens. Did I mention that I loved chasing chickens? Oh, okay. Yes, I couldn't get enough of it. Once I discovered where they were, I thought of nothing else. I bumped into that area one day and saw them. Hundreds of white, feathery birds who weren't even able to fly away if I would go after them. It was amazing. It was perfect. I was going to do it. This was the life. I looked at them, I aimed, and I ran at them as fast as I could. I growled while sprinting at them as fast as my legs could carry me. "Bok, bok, bok," the chickens said, separating when they saw me coming. The chickens flapped their wings and went all over the place. Of course, they didn't really fly, but at least they got away from me. However, I never got tired. There were so many chickens to have fun with that I didn't stop. I went on, and the noise was overwhelming. The chickens were louder than they probably ever had been in their lives. Stupid chickens. They were so dumb, trying to fly away and sounding like a bunch of idiot birds. It was hilarious. Sometimes I would catch my breath and just start laughing because it was such a funny sight to see them panic for no reason. The feeling of being more powerful than hundreds of other animals was great. One ocelot against hundreds of chickens, and I was still winning. I was the ocelot, the one and only, and I was in charge. After a while, the fun was over, because the neighbor came out of his house with his gun. "Why are the chickens so noisy?" he asked to nobody in particular. "Who is there? Show yourself if you dare." I hid myself in the barn, but he was coming closer. I had to do something. I didn't want to be shot. I saw his shadow approaching around the corner of the barn. I knew he would find me within seconds. The only chance I had was the element of surprise. Without further ado, I ran between her legs and sped to Shelley's house. The neighbor had fallen over and reached for his gun, which had fallen on the ground as well. Bang! I heard a gunshot in the distance, but soon I would be safe. Chapter 5. Our Little Journey. I thought it would be over. The neighbor took out his rage on me with her gun, even though he missed, and the chickens were unharmed. But it wasn't over. I had caused a major drama in Shelley's home, and at the time I didn't even know it. There was a knock on the door. Shelley's mother opened up.
"Hello there, neighbor. What can I do for you?"
she asked.
"Your cat, or whatever it is, went into my chicken den. I don't know if any of the chickens got killed, but I didn't have the time to check. I saw the pet run into your house, so I was assuming that it was yours."
"It's my daughter's. I didn't know it attacked your chickens. I'm sorry. We will get rid of it immediately. I told her that we would if it would cause any problems."
"Thank you, madam. I hope that we will be able to resolve the matter quickly."
"Of course. I will talk to my son. See you later."
"Good day, madam."
She closed the door and went to the bottom of the stairs.
"Shelley, come down here." "Yes, Mom."
Shelley came running down the stairs. When she saw her mother's facial expression, she didn't look so happy anymore. She knew she was in trouble. She knew that face.
"Your ocelot attacked the neighbor's chickens," Shelley's mother said. "Oh, well, I am sure he had no bad intentions. Oliver is really sweet." I know, her mom said. "But I told you that we would take him back to the forest if he would cause trouble." "Don't do this, Mom. I promise that you will behave." "You heard me," her mother said. "I don't want you to talk back to me. You cannot control him. How are you going to prevent him from going to the neighbor's house? Oliver needs to go no matter how much you love him. It's the right thing to do." "No! If he goes, I will go too," Shelley said with tears in her eyes. "You will do no such thing, young lady. Go to your room. I will take her back to the forest myself." "Leave her alone!"
Shelley ran out of the house, and I thought it would be best to go after her. She ran, and her mother, who was a little fat, I have to say, didn't follow her. I wondered if she was just going to wait and hope for her daughter to return, but I guess she didn't fully understand how stubborn she was. As we kept running, we reached the other side of town. There were hills and green fields. We passed cows and sheep and horses, but we were not going into the direction of the forest. This was the opposite direction. I wonder where she is going, I thought, while keeping up with this speedy kid. After some time, she stopped and panted heavily. She put her hands on her knees and looked at me. I looked back at him, and she knew I was there to protect her.
I am so angry, she said. I am going to stay away from home until I know what to do.
I felt guilty. I didn't have to chase the chickens, even though it was so much fun. And now I had caused a family drama that could end up being a disaster. At that moment, when I looked at her standing there, fatigued and sweaty, I promised myself I would look after her. I wouldn't leave her until she would be home again.
Let's go, Oliver. We're going that way. I don't know what I will find there, but it is far away from the village, and that is what matters most right now.
I didn't agree with her, but I stayed with her anyway. After all, I could understand the human language, but I couldn't speak it. We walked and walked. Shelley told me about the things she did in school, the teachers she liked, the kids who had bullied her, the friends she had, and the boys she had a crush on. I listened to everything she said and tried to make gestures of understanding her.
You're my best buddy, Oliver, she said. It's totally awesome how much fish we can catch by teaming up, and I like that you do what I say, at least most of the time.
As we entered a new area, the part where the farmer's field stopped, I looked at a sign. I couldn't read, but I was glad that Shelley could.
Beware, she read out loud. You are entering the creepy canyons.
Chapter 6. The Creepy Canyons.
Creepy canyons? I never heard of that, Shelley said. Sounds a little creepy if you ask me. I don't know if we should go on.
I knew we shouldn't go on, but I couldn't tell her. And it was too bad that I couldn't, because after a few seconds she changed her mind and said,
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm angry and I'm going as far away as I can, so bring it on.
When she found a sword on the ground, a random object that someone had left there to rust, she felt even more confident. She put her sword in front of her after picking it up and said, On guard, dangers of the creepy canyons! And just like that, she kept walking. Not very smart, I thought, but I had sworn to take care of her, so I walked along. The creepy canyons were actually not canyons at all. The territory consisted of vast plains, stretching for miles and miles, with charred trees, dry grass, and black ashes all around us. I had heard of these monsters called creepy monsters. They were the ones that would run at people and explode in their faces, killing them instantly or maiming them badly. I was sharp. I was aware of the danger. In the distance, we saw some of these green, creepy monsters. They were ugly beasts, and they saw us too. But they were not moving. They looked at me with fear, as if they wouldn't come near us. Other monsters on the other side came closer, but didn't run at us. I showed them my meanest face, trying to communicate to them to stay away from me and Shelley or else. None of them came close enough, and none of them exploded.
Weird, Shelley said when she observed the green creatures. It's like they are afraid of you, or of me.
I was pretty certain that it was me, but it didn't matter. The monsters kept their distance, and some of them even walked away. I was the girl's protector, and I knew how important my presence was. Eventually, all the green monsters left. They knew I was there to stay, and that I wasn't going to leave Shelley's sight. 2 other ocelots joined us that day. I don't know why. It was weird, but they didn't say a thing, and when I tried to talk to them, they ignored me. Perhaps they were just happy to see someone else in this area. Later, they disappeared. Weirdos. Good, I thought. I don't want anything to explode in my face, and I wouldn't be able to live with myself if something happened to this kid. As we kept walking, we began to see why it was called Creepy Canyon. There was a canyon. We just had to cross the plains to find it.
Whoa, Shelley said. What a view!
When we reached the edge, we overlooked an entire valley. It was just as burned up and dry as the plains behind us, almost spooky. The peaks made the appearance of rocky flames, and there were tons of dead trees, more than on the plains. The monsters had quite a good time here, I thought. What a barren wasteland. Ugh.
I wonder what is down there, Shelley said.
I felt a little inadequate afterwards, because I wasn't paying attention. The 13-year-old girl came too close to the edge, and as her curiosity almost killed her, there it is again, she slipped and got stuck between two cracks.
Ouch!
She cried out.
Help! I'm stuck!
Uh-oh. That didn't sound good. Chapter 7. The Cliffs. I looked over the edge of the cliff. It was way deep. I was not going to climb down there. Besides, if I would reach Shelley, then how was I going to pull her up? I looked again. Her arm was stuck indeed. It got caught between two rock-solid walls, and she was unable to go anywhere.
What am I going to do? She asked in fear. How can I get out of here? Oliver, I am so glad you're still here. Please get my family. Let them know that they must find me.
I understood the girl's desperation. She knew she would die unless I would find help, and I also realized that she wasn't as sure as she appeared to be about relying on an ocelot. Her life was in my hands. I felt for her. Hoping that my gesture would work, I held up my paw in the air and waved it a little. She smiled. The faith of a young teen. Amazing. I think she secretly knew inside that I was her friend now, and that I would do everything in my power to get someone to rescue her. I gazed into the distance. It was a long way to the village. We had walked far. This was it. I had to do this. I hoped that this poor girl would be okay during my departure. Before I left, I took a branch and stuck it into the ground. This way I would recognize the place when I would come back. Hopefully I would. Chapter 8. Sprinting Skills. I began to run. I ran, and I took several small breaks. It was hot. The plains were almost like a desert. This made me worry about Shelley, too. I sure hoped she wouldn't get dehydrated. The monsters on the plains stayed away. Yes, I was the one they were terrified of, just as I thought. And then, out of the blue, I saw a shade emerge from the distance. It came closer as I was running, as if it was walking towards me. I stopped running so I could talk to her. "Olisa?" I asked. "What are you doing here?"
I could ask you the same thing, Oliver. What is an ocelot doing on the plains of the creepy canyons?
"Not so fast. I asked you first," I said. "Tell me your reason, and I will tell you mine."
Well, I heard about this place, and I wanted to test it out. Did you know that green monsters are scared of ocelots?
"So I've noticed," I said. "And you just came here to show off, to scare them away?"
Yes, I did. Sounds like a fun thing to do, doesn't it?
"Depends on what your idea of fun is," I said. "Anyway, I am going to the village to get help. One of their children got stuck in the canyon."
"I'll bet you that I will beat you to it," she said.
"You're going to challenge me again? I think you got some issues, Olisa. I don't know anyone who is as competitive as you are."
"So what do you say, Oliver? You're not chicken, are you?"
"I am the one who chases chickens," I said in a low, determined voice. "Let's do this. Ready? Set? Go!" We took off and sprinted as fast as we could. We raced across the plains and reached the village in no time. When I passed the first house, I stopped to catch my breath. "Whew-wee," I said. "Nice workout, isn't it?"
"Yes, it is,"
Olisa said.
"Okay, you've won. I hate it. See you later."
I chuckled. That Olisa, so eager to win everything and to be the best at everything. But I didn't care. It was all about reaching the village faster. As I walked through the streets of the little town, I searched for Shelley's house. When I found it, I went inside and walked straight to her parents.
"Hey, what are you doing here?" the mother asked. "And where is Shelley? We've been looking all over town to find her."
I couldn't answer, but I held up my paw to signal that they should follow me.
I think this ocelot knows something, honey, she said. We have to go now. I hope our son is okay. I wished that animal of hers could talk.
Yes, I wished so too, lady. Now let's get going already.
Guide the way, Ocelot,
Shelley's father said. As I showed them the way out of the village, they could barely keep up with me. These fat humans weren't very fast, but at least now they knew where to go. During our trip to the cliffs, a thought suddenly hit me. What if the monsters found Shelley first? The thought made me run even faster, but every once in a while I had to stop. The green monsters didn't attack Shelley's parents either. They made sure to stay away from me. Eventually, we arrived at the scene. Finally, it was about time. I went to the edge where I had put the stick into the ground. It was still there. Then I looked over the edge to see if Shelley was still there. Yep, same spot, same Shelley. Her parents came too.
Shelley, are you there, girl?
Her father shouted. I'm here, Dad. I am stuck.
Don't worry, I will come get you.
His mother looked very worried, but when she saw how easy it was for her husband to climb down and wiggle Shelley's arm out of the rocks, she was relieved. Shelley's father pulled her up and reached the edge.
Shelley, her mom exclaimed, I am so glad you're safe.
She gave her a hug, and her father looked proud of what he did.
We love you, girl, he said. We like it better when you don't run away from home.
I know, Dad. I'm sorry. But can I keep Oliver if I promise to watch him so that he won't chase the neighbor's chickens again?
The two parents looked at each other.
Sure, her mom said. But you better make sure. I don't want another angry neighbor coming to our house.
Your Ocelot has helped us get a lot of free fish, her father said. I think you can definitely keep him.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
And there it was. We were all safe, and all we had to do was go home. I led the way, and I kept all the green monsters away. And when we got home, I never went to the neighbor's house to run after the chickens again. Well, almost never. The neighbor wasn't always home to do something about it. The end. This has been Ocelot Story, Diary of a Brave Ocelot, Adventure Stories for Kids. Written by Jeff Child. Narrated by John H. Feskins. Copyright 2017 by Jeff Child. Production copyright 2017 by Jeff Child.